Here we are to the start of another day. Rick's Sports Center. This is Mammoth Lake. So this is the start. It's a ski town. It's absolutely gorgeous. They even got snow. They're gonna have snow till June in some of these places that it's piled up. They got dumped on over the year. This is where we start our next journey from. And today, this ride here, this was actually an interesting ride because I was finding out that during the winter, this whole area had been just dumped on with snow over the winter. They had gotten excessive amount of snow, more than they normally did. And I think that's like kind of what is going to make it interesting was that I had bumped into snow before, obviously my last one I had, and now I was going to go from the Sierra Nevadas and I wanted to cross. Well, there was a huge problem. The issue with all the snow is that a lot of the snow hadn't melted or had been cleaned away. So I actually had to spend time on the internet and talking to people to try and find out what road to go across was actually open because I wanted to avoid the major highway. So out of all the roads that actually crosses here in Nevada in kind of middle California, there was only one that was open. And that's the one I was headed towards. And then, you know, of course, going to take little offshoots and whatnot. And as the offshoots or whatnot, you kind of go through these towns, small towns, just on the ledge. These are all towns that are kind of like in the foothills, in the shadow of these mountains. So you can constantly see those snow-capped peaks just along the edge. And it's just spectacular. And it amazes me that some of these people just live here all the time. This is so different kind of living than if you were in San Francisco, LA, or any kind of city, because you're in a rural area, you're surrounded by like cattle, you're surrounded by ranches, you're surrounded by a lot of nature in its own right. You're not in the concrete jungle. Here you're quite literally in kind of the outdoors as it's known. And it's just absolutely spectacular. And the people act differently like that. There's more kind of a more trusting nature. And I don't really want to get into it too much, but that's how a lot of this stuff is. Look at this small town. You got the cows out there grazing. All around there. Little, I'd play lottery if I cared, but I don't care. Here it is. There are so many great stops here. I saw one area, but I wanted to stop at this great overlook of a lake and such. I couldn't do it because there was a concrete divider in the way. Now, I'm okay to do off-road, but a concrete divider is a little much for a bike. Wow, this is great. And only more to come. know, it's amazing. This town itself has like 700 people. It's cool just to sit back and just enjoy the views. This is not really known for any kind of historical events or whatnot, so you just kind of have to sit back and just enjoy it. Look at this picturesque landscape. Ah! Can you not love it? And I get to ride through this all day today. Hopefully I don't get stuck by snow again. But we'll see. It's just that kind of, it's in the wind kind of weather. It's amazing seeing these little passes through and through, where you kind of cut through little areas. I haven't even started to cut across the top of the mountains, so I'm still working my way there. Look at that view. Look at that view. This is 89, which I'm cutting across is here in Nevada. It's open. At least it says it's open. Everything says it's open. So I get to here enjoy this view. Yes. Here, I was slowly making my way up to start on the plateau to make my way across. Just pulled over here real quick, leave the bike humming, just to show you the view that I get. Now, the smoke there is because of the fires. Now, are they managed fires or wildfires? I don't know. I think they might be an actual forest fire, because I didn't see any sign saying managed fire, do not call police, and I didn't see anything in the news today about it. So those could be actual wildfires. And so much more road to go. there was definitely a fire going on down there. I didn't really like look too much into it. Hopefully it was, I forgot to look into whether or not it was like an actual like forest fire or controlled burned or what was going on there. I'm always curious, but I'm just not gonna go back and look at it. But as it is, I'm hitting the top, the plateau, and you can just see the snow. It seemed to be like right around, I think 7,000 feet. That's where the snow started to like appear, because you're high enough in elevation that it's cold enough and they got just dumped on enough that here's where the precipitation is, this is where the snow is, and this is going to be the interesting riding as I kind of punched on through it. The cool thing is that as I was going across this place, I actually have a ton of footage. I'm gonna have to take it up and segregate it up to just a video just going across this whole area, because there was just so much. This video would be like, there's literally over like 3 hours of video of just like this section alone, going through like a lot of the snow and some of the overlooks. So I'll have to put that on its own video in itself. But as it is, I'll just put a short recap here. This is why you come up here, for all these views. That was a lake I had lunch on at the start of the bowl. You can't see it from here. I think this is nearly 9,000 feet. We're 9,000 feet up. So there's plenty of snow, and this snow will be here till probably close to July. I mean, as you see, I did have a lot to see and a lot to just enjoy as I kind of punched through here, this area. I stopped a couple times, and it's kind of interesting, a lot of the weather. I even got hailed on while I was in here. And it's just so much fun. And as you come down the slope, I was headed down, and of course, Sacramento. And you can kind of even see as you're coming down, I felt like one of the hill people descending upon the city. And you realize really quickly that Sacramento's in kind of a curious place. And the fact that Sacramento is kind of situated between the coastal region, where you have the big city people, and the hill people who are up in the country. And you don't want to piss off the hill people, because if they decide to march on Sacramento, Sacramento will fall pretty damn quick, because the people up here are armed to the teeth. And you know, that's just the fun of So I stopped here at Cafe 88 to kind of like take sense of the things, get out of the rain. What a difference a few thousand feet make. So I think this is like 6,000 feet. And as you can tell, completely different. It's no longer in the, oh dear. It's no longer in the cold range of like 40 degrees. It was like hailing, and it's now in the mid to upper 60s. And those trees look like they're getting taller and wider. It's because we are. I'm in the Redwood National Forest region. I don't think there are any here. But if there are, I'll stop and knock on them. But Cafe 88. Good for an espresso. Here's a nice little vista point. I am out of the Kirkwood Pass, obviously. On the other side, Sacramento and Stockton cities are up ahead, and I'm headed that way. So back to civilization. What a great ride it was. I think that'll be about it. But we'll see. Maybe there's something to do. You know, California, if you're riding, the Sierra Nevadas are absolutely just a must visit. And there's several passes that, when open, are just great riding things. And I do love it. And it should be a must visit for any motorcyclist.